Chapter 1. The Captive Experiment. The cold, sterile walls of the research facility hummed with the quiet whir of machines. Dr. Ilara Vex adjusted her holographic datapad, her sharp violet eyes scanning the latest readings. The subject, designation K-117, lay motionless on the examination table, his muscular frame restrained by reinforced biocuffs. He was not human. His species, known as the Zorathians, were rare, powerful, telepathic, and fiercely territorial. The Galactic Science Division had captured him during a deep space patrol, labeling him a specimen rather than a sentient being. Ilara had spent months studying him, documenting his reactions, his pain thresholds, his uncanny ability to regenerate tissue. But something about him unsettled her. His golden eyes, slitted like a predator's, followed her every move. Even in captivity, he exuded dominance. Subject shows increased neural activity when exposed to emotional stimuli, she muttered, recording her observations. A low, rumbling voice cut through the silence. "You fear me." Ilara froze. The Zorathian's lips hadn't moved. His words had slithered directly into her mind. She swallowed hard. "You're not supposed to be conscious yet." His lips curled into a smirk, revealing sharpened canines. "Your drugs are weak, little scientist." She should have called security. But curiosity anchored her in place. "Can you always read thoughts?" "Only the loud ones." His chains rattled as he shifted. "And yours scream louder than most." Ilara's pulse spiked. She had been careful, professional. But beneath her clinical exterior, she was afraid. And something else, something she refused to name. The Zorathian inhaled deeply, nostrils flaring. "You smell different." He took a step back. "Enough." Sedation protocol. Before she could activate the injector, his restraints snapped. Chapter 2. The hunted becomes the hunter. Ilara stumbled, her back hitting the wall. The Zorathian K-117 loomed over her, his massive frame blocking the exit. His golden eyes burned with something primal. "You have studied me," he growled. "Now I will study you." She reached for the emergency alarm, but his hand closed around her wrist. His touch sent an electric jolt through her nerves. "Let go," she demanded. "No." His voice was a dark purr. "You have watched me, tested me. Now you will feel me." His free hand traced her jawline, claws retracted but the threat clear. Ilara's breath hitched. Fear and something hotter coiled in her stomach. The door hissed open. Armed guards flooded in, stunners raised. "Step away from the doctor." The Zorathian snarled, shielding Ilara with his body. A stun bolt hit his shoulder, but he barely flinched. "Run," he commanded in her mind. She hesitated, then bolted. Chapter 3. The Claiming. Ilara didn't stop until she reached her quarters. Her hands shook as she locked the door. What the hell just happened? She had spent years believing the Zorathians were mindless beasts. But K-117 had protected her. Why? A shadow moved in the corner. She gasped, but before she could scream, a familiar presence filled her mind. "You are safe." The Zorathian stepped into the light, blood dripping from a gash on his arm. He had fought his way to her. Ilara's scientific detachment shattered. "Why did you follow me?" He advanced, his voice a possessive growl. "Because you are mine." Her breath caught. "What? You think I did not sense it?" His fingers tangled in her hair. "Your scent calls to me. Your pulse quickens when I am near. You are mate." Ilara's logic warred with instinct. This was insanity. He was a test subject, an alien. But when his lips crashed against hers, she didn't pull away. Chapter 4: Escape. The facility was on lockdown. Alarms blared as security hunted the escaped specimen. Ilara knew the consequences if they were caught. Dissection for him. Imprisonment for her. "There's a ship in Hangar 7, she whispered, pulling up schematics. "If we can reach it." The Zorathian bared his teeth. "We fight." "No. We run." He studied her, then nodded. They moved like shadows, dodging patrols. But at the hangar entrance, Commander Ricker blocked their path. "Traitor," he spat, aiming his plasma rifle. The Zorathian moved faster than sight. Bones crunched. Ricker fell. Ilara didn't look back. Chapter 5. The stars belonged to them. The stolen ship pierced the atmosphere, leaving the facility and her old life behind. Ilara exhaled, watching the stars blur past. The Zorathian, no, his name was Dax, pulled her into his lap. "You are free now." He smirked. "You mean we are?" His growl vibrated against her skin. "Mine." She didn't argue, because for the first time she belonged. Epilogue. A new destiny among the stars. The stolen cruiser, Starweaver, hummed softly as it drifted beyond the reach of Galactic Science Division patrols. Ilara sat in the co-pilot's chair, watching the swirl of hyperspace through the viewport. Beside her, Dax, no longer K-117, no longer a specimen, controlled the ship with an ease that spoke of his natural instincts. His fingers moved over the controls, claws retracted but ever present, a reminder of what he was. "Where do we go now?" His voice was a low rumble in her mind, a sensation she was still getting used to. Ilara exhaled, leaning back. "Anywhere but here." Dax turned his golden gaze on her, studying her the way she had once studied him. Except now, there was no cold detachment. Only heat. Only possession. "You have no home now," he said, not as a question but a fact. He smirked. "Neither do you." A slow, fanged grin spread across his face. "Then we make one." The Zorathians' claim. Days passed in the quiet rhythm of the ship. Ilara learned more about Dax than any research file could have told her. He was not just strong, he was intelligent. He understood ship mechanics, could calculate jump coordinates in his head, and had an almost eerie sense of danger before it struck. And then there were the other things. The way his pupils dilated when she entered the room. The possessive growl that escaped him if she lingered too long near the comms array, as if he feared she might call for help. The way his hands, claws carefully sheathed, traced her skin like she was something precious. One night, as she lay half asleep in the bunk they now shared, she felt his weight shift beside her. His breath was hot against her neck. "Ilara!" She turned, meeting his glowing eyes in the dim light. "Yes, you are mine." It wasn't a question. It wasn't even a declaration. It was a truth, as unshakable as gravity. She should have been afraid. She had been afraid once. But now she reached for him. "Yes." His lips crashed against hers, teeth scraping in a way that sent fire through her veins. His hands pinned her wrists, his body covering hers completely. She gasped as his mind pressed against hers, not just in words, but in feeling, raw, unfiltered need. "Mine," he snarled again, this time aloud. And she was. Future unchained. Weeks later they reached the edge of known space, a rogue planet, uncharted, untouched by the Galactic Division. Dax landed the Starweaver in a valley of jagged obsidian cliffs, where the twin suns painted the sky in hues of violet and gold. Ilara stepped out, breathing in air that had never been filtered through a ship's vents. Dax stood behind her, his presence a constant warmth. "This is ours," he said. She smiled. "No chains. No scientists." His arm wrapped around her waist, pulling her back against him. "Just us." And for the first time in her life, Ilara didn't just understand freedom. She lived it.